I love it when I see the original Full Metal Alchemist anime from 2003 get a little bit more attention, and it always breaks out discussion as to how it compares with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and if it's still worth watching. I know it's hard to not be biased towards Brotherhood because it follows closer to the manga and adaptation. It has a much more conclusive ending. But I'll always still have a soft spot for that first anime adaptation, and I'll always recommend for anyone to give it a chance. For those who may not be familiar with the production history of that first anime adaptation, Fullmetal Alchemist was very quick to make an impression with those first few volumes that Studio Bones just wanted to adapt it right away. To keep in a frame of mind of how much source material that they were working with by the time that the anime was ready for its debut in Japan, only 6 out of what eventually became 27 volumes were published, and that wouldn't even be done until 2010. The mangaka Hiroma Arakata not only gave them the go-ahead to do their own thing, but requested that they make an original ending so she could focus on the manga at her own pace. She'd pop in once in a while to help fill in the gaps with some characters and plot points that she was working on, but otherwise Studio Bones was left to their own devices. It tends to be a gamble for an anime adaptation of a manga to stray away from its source material, but despite this, the first Fullmetal Alchemist series still holds up very well. It's actually pretty fun to see where the lore branches off and how certain arcs play out differently, and of course they do have to rely just a little bit on filler and stretching out certain plot points. The filler thankfully still works for the overall vibe of Fullmetal Alchemist, and stuff that you actually think is filler does make a comeback later on in the series, which is pretty fun to see. And it does well to establish one thing that I think is a little bit better than Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is actually seeing Edward Elric establish his reputation as a state alchemist. For example, you actually get to see Yoki's corruptive control get upended by the Elric brothers. And because they also have to stretch out certain plot points, it makes some of the tragedies like Nina Tucker and Maze Hughes just hit a lot harder. Not that it doesn't with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, but it's a little different when you get a little bit more time with these characters before they meet their tragedies. Of course, those more saturated colors and lines are always great to see with an early 2000s anime. And between the openings, endings, and even the score, the music is just iconic. Like, if you've gone this far in life without listening to Bratya, oh my god, like, that might change you. And the 2003 anime has a lot more somber vibes in its themes of learning to move forward in the face of horrendous tragedy, and that might be a bit more appealing if you're looking for a bit more edge to your story. I wouldn't categorize that first anime adaptation as better or even worse than Brotherhood. It's just a different experience with the story, and it's definitely worth giving a shot at least once.